Hello, Soul Family. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I want to extend a warm welcome to you. This is Soul Family Oracle, where we share important messages from the divine and our ancestors. These messages are meant to guide us through our spiritual journeys and help us stay connected to our higher purpose. As always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Not every message will feel like it's meant for you, and that's okay. The important thing is to trust your intuition. For those of you returning, I want to say a huge thank you for your ongoing support. It means the world to me that you continue to show up and be part of this community. Today's message is a very important one. It may be hard for some of you to hear, and I understand that, so I want to apologize in advance. But sometimes we need to hear the hard truths so that we can act and make a difference in the world. The message I have for you today is about protecting our children. It's a message that has been weighing heavily on my heart, and I feel called to share it with you. Our children are under attack, and it is time for spiritual warriors to rise up and take action. This is a wake-up call for all of us who are connected to the divine and who understand the spiritual forces at play in the world. Children are special beings. They come into this world with pure and innocent energy. They are not burdened by the heavy emotions, experiences, or negative energies that adults carry with them. They are full of light, love, and curiosity. This purity is what makes them so powerful, but it's also what makes them vulnerable. Dark forces, both spiritual and human, are drawn to this innocent energy because they know how powerful it is. These forces want to use the energy of children to gain power, wealth, and control. Children don't fully understand the power of their own minds and spirits. They don't yet know how to protect themselves from these dark forces. This is why it is up to us, the adults, to step in and be their protectors. We must teach them how to be strong in their minds and hearts. But until they can do that for themselves, we have to stand in the gap and defend them. The sad truth is that children all over the world are being used and harmed by these dark forces. They are being exploited, manipulated, and sometimes even physically harmed by people in positions of power. These people seek to drain the children's pure energy for their own selfish gain. This has been going on for a very long time, and it's something that we can no longer ignore. We can't just think of this as a local issue affecting a few children here and there. This is a global problem. Children everywhere are being targeted, and there are dark entities working behind the scenes to orchestrate this attack. These dark forces feed off of the fear, pain, and suffering of innocent children. The more children suffer, the stronger these forces become. They thrive on negative energy, and they will continue to grow more powerful if we don't do something to stop them. This is not just a physical battle. It's a spiritual battle. The fight between light and dark has been going on for eons, long before our time on this planet. It's a battle that stretches across the universe, and it's one that we, as spiritual warriors, are called to participate in. We cannot sit idly by while innocent children are being harmed. We have to rise up, stand in the light, and fight against these dark forces. Children are going missing. They are being mistreated, and they are being used as pawns in a much bigger, more sinister plan. This plan goes beyond what we see in our everyday lives. It's being controlled by forces that we may not fully understand, but that doesn't mean we can't fight back. We can fight back by protecting our children, by educating ourselves about what's really going on, and by staying connected to the divine. As spiritual warriors, we have a duty to protect the innocent. We are the guardians of the next generation, and it's up to us to ensure that our children grow up in a world where they can thrive, where they can be safe, and where they can be free to be who they truly are. This is not an easy task. but it's one that we must take on with courage and determination. One of the first steps we can take is to raise awareness. Talk to your friends, family, and community about what's happening to our children. Share this message with others so that more people can understand the severity of the situation. The more people who know, the more people who can help. Another step is to pray for protection and guidance. The power of prayer is real, and when we come together as a community of light workers and spiritual warriors, our prayers can make a difference. Pray for the children. Pray for their safety and their healing. Pray for the defeat of these dark forces that are causing harm. Ask the divine and our ancestors to step in and guide us in this battle. It's also important to be vigilant in your own life. Pay attention to the children in your community. Are there signs that something might be wrong? Do you notice children who seem sad, withdrawn, or fearful? If so, don't be afraid to step in and offer support. Sometimes, all it takes is one caring adult to make a difference in a child's life. We must also look at the bigger picture. What can we do as a society to protect our children? Are there policies, laws, or systems in place that are failing them? If so, we need to push for change. We need to demand that our leaders take this issue seriously and take action to protect the most vulnerable among us. This is a call for action, my soul family. We are in the middle of a spiritual battle, and it's up to us to defend the children and restore balance in the world. This may feel overwhelming, but remember that we are not alone in this fight. We are guided and supported by the divine, by our ancestors, and by each other. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can stand up to the darkness and bring light back into the world. So let's unite, let's rise up, and let's protect our children. They are the future, and they deserve to grow up in a world where they are safe, loved, and free. Thank you for being part of this important mission. Stay strong, stay connected, and keep fighting for the light. You have a deep desire to work with children, and perhaps you've even thought about starting a foundation to help those who are underprivileged or in need. This calling isn't just about helping children with basic needs, but also about giving them the skills and support they need to thrive in life. You feel a strong pull to help children who come from difficult backgrounds, as well as those who are homeless. These children often don't have the same opportunities that others do, and you want to change that by teaching them skills, providing them with love and care, and giving them a better future. Your vision goes beyond just helping individual children. You also feel strongly about improving the systems that are supposed to care for them, like adoption and foster care. These systems, while created with good intentions, are often flawed. There are many challenges that children face within these systems, and it's clear that changes need to be made. Spirit says that this mission you feel called to pursue is one that will impact many lives, not just your own. You are being guided toward a path that will make a real difference in the lives of children and families. Unfortunately, some people have used these systems for their own personal gain. There are organizations and individuals who pretend to care about helping children, but in reality, they exploit them. They take advantage of vulnerable children and families, using them to make money or gain power. This exploitation is not just a human problem, it is driven by darker forces that go unnoticed by many. These dark forces feed off the suffering of children and aim to keep them from reaching their full potential. There have been many hidden and harmful practices that have taken place around the world, particularly in Africa. In some cases, children have been used in medical experiments or trials that caused them harm. These trials were often conducted in secret, and when things went wrong, the truth was covered up. The children involved were left to suffer, and those responsible faced little to no consequences. These events are rarely spoken about, and when they are, the evidence is often erased, and the people who try to speak out are silenced. The battle we face isn't just against these physical acts of exploitation and harm, but against spiritual forces that drive these actions. Dark energy seeks to take away the innocence and purity of children, draining them of their light and potential. However, we are not powerless in this fight. We are beings of light, and where there is light, darkness cannot win. Spirit reminds us that we are spiritual warriors. Our role is to stand up and protect the children who are vulnerable to these dark forces. We must defend their energy, their innocence, and their futures. Right now, cosmic energies are aligning, and this signals a coming change. The downfall of these dark forces is near, and as people of light, we have a significant role to play. Our mission is to protect and guide the next generation. We must teach children how to heal, not just in a physical sense, but also spiritually. Teaching them about natural healing methods, like using herbs, will empower them to take care of their health in a way that connects them to the earth and their own energy. Additionally, we need to guide them on how to protect their energy from harm, both physically and spiritually. It's not enough to just focus on physical safety. We must also help children discover who they truly are. By teaching them to understand their own energy and purpose, we give them the tools to stand strong in the face of challenges. Many of us are being called to take more direct action in the lives of children, such as homeschooling them to keep them away from harmful systems. This might seem like a big task, but it is an important step in protecting their well-being. The treatment of children by certain systems and institutions has been deeply troubling. These systems have often aimed to control and manipulate children, draining their pure energy and spreading negativity in the world. It's heartbreaking to see how innocent children have been affected by these harmful practices, but now is the time for change. Spirit is calling on us to rise up, stand against these dark forces, and create a better, brighter future for the children of this world. Those in positions of power have frequently misused their authority. Instead of protecting children, they have taken advantage of them, using their power to further their own selfish agendas. This has caused a great deal of harm, but Spirit is now asking us to step forward and remove these dark influences from the systems that are supposed to protect children. We are being called to shine a light on the darkness and bring about positive change. In a dream, I was given a powerful message about the importance of this mission. I saw an old man who had been killed in a park where children used to play. His death was tragic, and it symbolized the harm that has been done to so many children. But in the dream, I later saw the man's spirit sitting peacefully on a bench. He invited me to sit with him and talk, and though I don't remember everything we discussed, I know that his message was important. The old man's spirit represented the wisdom of those who have fought for children in the past. He had spent his life teaching children and guiding them toward a better future. He was well loved by the community because of the positive impact he had on so many lives. In the dream, I saw that he had been a teacher at a school for many years. He had taught both children and adults, and his lessons had stayed with them long after they left his classroom. His work, like ours, was about more than just education. It was about protecting and nurturing the next generation. This dream was a reminder that we are not alone in this fight. There have always been people who have dedicated their lives to helping children, and we are continuing that legacy. The cosmic forces are aligning in our favor, and now is the time to act. We must be strong, stand up against the darkness, and fight for the children who need our help. Together, we can create a world where children are safe, loved, and free to reach their full potential. As spiritual warriors, we are being called to guide and protect the next generation. We must teach them about their own power, their energy, and their ability to heal and protect themselves. We must also fight against the systems that seek to exploit them. This mission is not just ours, but one that will impact many lives. With the light on our side, we will prevail, and the children of this world will have the bright future they deserve. When I arrived at the school, the first thing I noticed was a woman's voice, loud and upset. She was standing near the entrance with a young girl beside her, who I assumed was her daughter. The woman was clearly frustrated and seemed to be losing patience. From the way she was talking, I understood that she had come to the school hoping for her daughter to learn, but the teacher wasn't there. It was obvious she felt let down, and the situation was getting tense. A male teacher was nearby, trying his best to calm her down. He spoke gently, but the woman wasn't ready to listen. She wanted answers, and she wanted them right away. She kept asking why the teacher wasn't there and who would teach her daughter now. I could feel the frustration in her voice, and the young girl looked uncomfortable, standing quietly next to her mother, probably wondering what was going on. I realized that no one had explained to the woman what had happened. The teacher she was looking for had recently passed away. I hadn't planned to tell her this, but it seemed like the right moment to speak up and explain. I walked over to her, and as kindly as I could, I said, "The teacher is no longer with us. He has passed away. When we find a new teacher, we will let you know." The woman's face changed instantly. Her anger softened into sadness. She took a deep breath and nodded, as if she was processing the news. The girl, still silent, looked up at her mother, unsure of what it all meant. The woman didn't say much after that, but it was clear that my words had an effect. She wasn't angry anymore, just quiet, perhaps reflecting on what I had told her. The male teacher, who had been trying to calm the situation, looked at me with a mixture of relief and surprise. He gave me a small smile, but then, almost out of nowhere, he said something that I wasn't expecting. "Now that you've told her this," he said, "you'll have to take his place and teach the children." I was taken aback by his words. I hadn't come to the school to be a teacher, let alone replace someone who had passed away. But there was something about the way he said it, like he saw potential in me, or maybe he just knew the school needed someone to step up. Either way, his words stuck with me. I didn't respond right away, but I knew deep down that teaching these children might be something I was meant to do. This moment reminded me of someone from my own life, a role model or mentor who wasn't my real father, but someone who guided me when I needed it most. For many people, this could be an uncle, a teacher, or a family friend. Someone who wasn't directly responsible for you, but still played an important role in shaping who you are. This person, whoever they were, helped young people feel stronger, more confident, and taught them how to love and accept themselves. They weren't always perfect, but they made a big impact on the lives of the people they mentored. I believe that many teachers and role models from the past might feel like they didn't do enough. They might look back and wish they had given more guidance, more wisdom, or more support to the younger generation. Sometimes, they feel like they didn't teach the right values, the ones that would help young people grow into strong, confident adults. These role models may wonder if they failed in some way, not because they didn't try, but because the world has changed so much, and the challenges facing today's youth are different from what they used to be. Today, we face new and darker challenges. Many children are being led astray, misguided by influences that do not have their best interests at heart. Dark forces in the world are working hard to change how children think and how they see the world. These corrupt powers are trying to twist the minds of the next generation, leading them away from love, kindness, and truth. It's not just about the everyday struggles that children face. It's about the much bigger, more dangerous forces at play that want to harm their innocence and take away their sense of right and wrong. One of the worst things happening today is that many children are being trapped in situations of trafficking and slavery. This is one of the darkest and most heartbreaking realities of our world. Innocent children are being taken, sold, and used in ways that are unimaginable. They are losing their freedom, their safety, and in many cases, their very lives. This is why it is so important for all of us to step up and do something. Even if we don't feel like we are spiritual warriors or heroes, we can still help. We can still pray for these children, asking for their protection and for them to be freed from these terrible situations. A small prayer can go a long way. When we come together and call on the power of angels, warriors of light, and the higher powers that watch over us, we can make a difference. These children need all the protection they can get, and our prayers are a powerful way to bring light into the darkness that surrounds them. We must also keep in mind that these dark forces aren't just targeting children in obvious ways. They are trying to influence how children think, how they see themselves, and how they interact with the world. They are trying to confuse children, making them doubt their own worth, and leading them away from the values that can help them become strong, secure individuals. This is why it's important to teach children the right values from a young age, showing them how to love themselves and how to be confident in who they are. Even if you don't see yourself as someone who can do much, know that you can still make a difference. Even a small act of kindness, a prayer, or simply spreading awareness about the challenges children face can help. You don't have to be a teacher or a spiritual leader to make an impact. Every little bit counts, and when we work together, we can create a better future for the next generation. So, I ask you to take a moment today to say a prayer for the children who are suffering. Pray for their freedom, their safety, and their well-being. Let's come together as a community and ask the universe, the angels, and the higher powers to protect them and guide them to a better future. And as we do, I hope the universe continues to bless each of you. Have a blessed and peaceful day.